your own.
People see the business and they see, oh, you guys are in year 7, like you're doing great, but they have no idea those like hurdles around like year 4.
Yeah.
When if we hadn't made really hard decisions and pivoted things, we wouldn't be having this podcast probably. So it's nice when you get to the other side and be like, wow, what we did, the hard work, the consistency, it actually worked. But we're not like done. Like we're not like established and this is what the norm is. Like we're thinking clear, I think, going into this new year more than anything. All right. Welcome back to the In Between podcast. Woo! I'm Matt. This is my lovely co-host, Jenna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're speaking for me. So
you just say
hello,
hi.
I'm Jenna.
Okay, let's start that over real quick.
That was good. That was funny.
Okay,
just take it from the top right here. Just keep going. This is natural today.
Okay. All right. Well, we are starting a brand new season. Super excited. Season 2 of the In Between podcast. I feel like the last month, you and I have really taken some time to do quite a bit in our lives, like both things off of our bucket list, both growing in business, both growing spiritually. So we're just going to give a recap, what have we been up to?
Okay, let's do it. So, well, first of all, we need to say Happy New Year.
Yes.
This is season 2, so Happy New Year, and 2025 is going to be a good one, I feel like, for a lot of people. And I know 2024 may not have been the best year for you, and if that's you and that's the case, I'm just praying and believing it's the best one yet. 2025, there's good things coming this year.
That's right.
I believe that.
And I think that's so important, even what you said, like not just having an optimistic output or mindset, but like knowing that it is going to be a better year than the year before. Setting your mind right, knowing that that is going to be, your words frame the world that you live in, right? Yeah. So if you're always like, another year, didn't meet my goals, cool, this year's going to be different.
Yeah.
But like, what are you going to do different to make sure that you get to that?
Totally.
So we've been diving into that a lot. I love December.
We're going to get into some good, I think, feeling New Year content for everyone too. Yeah. So I think first things first, let's catch up on the past few months. So we spent the end of 2024 really traveling.
The most traveling we've done
here, there, and everywhere. Well, in several years with having our children. Yep. So our kids are now getting older. Our youngest is going to be 2 this month in January, and then our oldest will be 6 this year, which is crazy.
Charlie 6,
but
Goldie
there
2.
is a shift. You know, if you're out there and you're a new parent or you're a parent with a kid under 2, I would say. It is coming where you can start traveling and you can start taking the kids with you even. And
it's still not easy.
Kind of getting back to your rhythm. Yeah. Yes. So I feel like we did that. Like it felt so good to just go again. And it was fun. So let's talk about this though, because this is fun. We had some good travels, but it started.
So where did we go? Give them a little list.
So it started in October. We went to
New Orleans.
For what?
The Eras Tour.
The Eras Tour.
One of her final stops.
It was.
The final stop in the United States, right? Because then she just had Canada.
No, she went to Indiana after that. So you're going to have to cut that.
Sorry about that. Jenna knows. So we went to the Taylor Swift concert.
Yes. Night 2 is Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay. Yeah. Jenna will give you the whole
It's very important
lowdown.
that you define the date
right.
and the night that we were there.
Okay,
because every show is different. So our surprise guest was Sabrina Carpenter, which was incredible. And it was just everything and more.
I honestly didn't know who she was. Most of our viewers are going to be like,
I can't believe you're admitting that.
Crazy? I went, so during the, if you've been to the Eras Tour, it's like 4 hours long, right? So like, it's like, you're watching an extremely long movie, like The Irishman 2 times over, right? And like, I'm like getting hungry and I love Taylor Swift. Now I love her a little bit more because of my wife, and her music's great. She does an incredible performance. It is like
just once in a
being
lifetime.
At a Broadway production, every song perfectly timed, perfectly lit. Everything is just, it's magical,
it's perfection.
Right? But I was hungry. So I was constantly like going up to the concession stands, right? At the Superdome. And they had like this Tony's food truck and like Cajun Creole.
They had like, it wasn't just just concessions that we would have here in Tulsa to be okay,
Yeah.
like popcorn and hot dogs. It was like full-blown dinners and meals.
Like I had it looked like I came back from the Chinese buffet.
It kind of felt like we were in the airport with different restaurants. But anyways, nonetheless, we're not going to talk about that.
I came back and Sabrina Carpenter was on the stage and I looked at her and I was like, I was having a good time and I looked at Jenna and I said a little loud, I was like, who is that? And you could feel everyone in our section, like
they just immediately
and they probably think I'm the biggest idiot. Who's this guy trying to dress up like Travis Kelce at the concert? We were just trying to get noticed, right? But
oh my gosh,
New Orleans, what a great place!
It was so fun.
We had never been.
It was so fun. What was it like going to the Eras tour with me?
With you, I had to be like we were on vacation and we were at an experience, but this was like Jenna had itineraries. Like at this time, the merch table opens, and then we go to the merch table, and it's a corral in the parking lot where the Pelicans.
You would
play.
think it was the concert line.
It was. It was like a line to get into like Disney World or something.
But it was just like, for the merch.
Okay, so while Jenna did that, I did some street photography around New Orleans, and the merch is important because it's the last tour. And getting the shirts and all the things. And it was a lot of fun, but New Orleans was a blast.
It was a blast. It was the perfect city to go to that show. But you know, it was your first time, not just seeing Taylor Swift, but I feel like seeing a pop star on that level.
Probably.
On like a global...
My first concert of my life was the Backstreet Boys back in like 1999. Dad got tickets from like work. They came out on like hoverboards.
But you've seen like Tom Petty.
Yeah,
I've seen Tom
all the
Petty.
Classic rocks.
I've seen Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac. Like we've seen some really good people. Like for sure.
Oh yeah.
I've seen Justin Timberlake,
John Mayer,
Lady Gaga.
But we love country too. We just saw Zach Bryan, probably one of the best concerts I've I enjoyed
Eric Church, all the good stuff. But Taylor Swift. So I grew up.
It's kind of like going to see the Beatles, right?
Our modern day,
It sounds crazy, but it's like she is, in terms of like sellout crowds, number one hits, all of the things, fan hysteria. Yeah. It's very similar to like, the Beatles or Michael Jackson, probably like a very similar like pop star icon. So nonetheless, if her and Trav end up getting married and settle down and have kids and there's no more music for a while, I'm glad that it was like
you don't have to worry about that. She will always
Jenna's got insider information.
She will always have something up her sleeve for us.
All right.
But I just on this, it was so special getting to see her, especially after, and I kind of shared that on social, but I grew up age 13, 14, really, 15, because when she wrote 15, which was on her Fearless album, I was turning 15.
Yeah,
and
resonated.
So it just, like all of her early music, so to see her come to now was just, it was amazing. Yeah. Okay, and then one thing, the All Too Well, we got to just share that story, and then we'll move on. But we were at the concert, and
Michigan State game was on, so I had that naturally pulled up on my phone like any fan would, right?
I feel like Dave Courtney's really going to enjoy that.
I was already getting like bad looks and people murmuring, and I was like, mind your own business. And I'm sitting down, so I'm sitting down.
You decided to sit down.
4-hour concert.
But hang on, All Too Well is like at the beginning, which is just funny. But anyways, he decided
it'd be midway through. I disagree. Midway through.
I know the cell list. It's like
so All 25% Too Well,
in.
Very monster ballad, 10-minute long song. Like the music video, cars driving off the cliff. Very emotional.
Matt decides that it's when he hears the slowness of it, it's a song to sit down, just like you do at any concert.
Right.
And that's absolutely not Taylor's song to sit down.
Oh my gosh.
Like at all.
I almost got beat.
So
like Mrs.
to
Doubtfire
see
style,
our
with
entire
like a purse.
section just stare at you, and so I, of course, looked at you. And actually, the exact words I said, "We do not sit down at All Too Well. Get your ass up." That was actually
she
what
rallied
I said.
all the crowd against me. Like, what the heck? Thanks.
Show her your respect. Was how I ended that.
This concert was definitely one for the books.
It was so fun. It was so fun. So we had a great time, and so after that, we came home, and then 2 days later, we put our kids in the car. We drove to Michigan.
Yep. Go see my family.
We visited your family in Michigan, which was great. And then we left kids with grandparents, and we flew to Miami.
Woo, Miami.
Which was so fun. And that was more of like a work trip.
Yep.
For the first time in the history of our business, 7 years, we connected and stayed and basically did a retreat with other business owners, just like our business, all around the US, Canada. And it was just so refreshing. It was refreshing, but just to know, like, because I feel like for 7 years, and really, I guess not the past year or two with coming into Acre Partner, but before Acre Partner, I felt so isolated. I felt like on our own island. Like, you know, we work with a clientele in an industry like realtors who are very community driven, and they have tons of events and awards and nominations for, you know, Rising Star of the Year and Hustler Year and all these things. And we're just always kind of in the background, it kind of feels like, and just, you know, there we don't really like have an industry like piece of glue that connects us. And so before Acre Partner, it felt so lonely. So to be in a room, not just a room, but a house for
a nice house,
4 or 5 days with industry leaders and business owners just like our business,
it was a dream.
Literally understand everything that we've walked through and built.
I came back so like rejuvenated, fired up, just being in the same room with some of the like big dogs, I call it. Like some of the people that I've looked up to for years when VAS was just starting are sitting in the kitchen, and I'm like having a cup of coffee. It's like 8:30 and the session's starting at 9. And they're like, so what do you do? It was just the coolest time to be able to connect with people.
And we didn't just connect, we actually taught sessions.
Yeah, we taught,
which was great.
Both of us taught sessions.
Yeah, which was so much fun. And I will say about that community in the industry where we work in, I am so thankful that there is a respect level for women.
Yeah.
I have never felt...
You're the only woman coach on the team, but
there are so many times that I could feel like inferior, or I could feel like, oh, what I have, it's not going to resonate with them. They're not going to listen to me. They're not going to value that. And just a shout out to the guys in our industry. I've never felt that.
Yeah.
Not from anyone in our community. I've experienced that on the other side of people in our industry that are not an Acre Partner, and you know about those moments. But within our community, I mean, there's a major big dog in our community that owns his business in Chicago. And when I was teaching my session, do you remember what he said? He was like, that was brilliant. And when he said that, I was like,
I thought of the Guinness commercials.
I belong. I am welcome here. And it just really made me feel good.
Hey, your session was incredible.
Thanks.
Like Jenna, the breakout session, I got to tell basically the founder's story, how at this point in the game, I'm even able to be in Miami and my team be able to function. Yeah. How did that start? Where is it at today? What did that journey look like? So it was more of a testimony time for me. I had a blast. We got to go out on a yacht in Miami in the Biscayne Bay.
It was so fun.
And shoot drone footage and just like really connect with other people, and so many opportunities. Even in the first week of coming back, being able to be on other people's podcasts and like connecting with other people that you really admire. There's nothing like that. Like whether you actually believe in coaching or consulting or accountability, or you're like, hey, I just want to pick up breadcrumbs along the way and do my own thing. I promise you won't even know what you could do until you have somebody else pushing you, whether that's in fitness, business, accountability in your marriage, like accountability at church, like whatever it is. But you got to want to be held accountable. Yeah, you got to be one.
Well, I think you got to be willing, open hands in a community. And so for so long, we didn't feel like a community in our business even existed. We just thought we're just us, you know, and
set the pace and do what we're going to do.
Put your head down and keep going. But it's just been so refreshing year 7 to be in a community now, because I don't think we would have lasted longer than over year 4 without it. I think about that, and I just don't. You can only do it by yourself for so long. In your own.
People see the business and they see, oh, you guys are in year 7, like you're doing great, but they have no idea those like hurdles around like year 4. Yeah. When if we hadn't made really hard decisions and pivoted things, we wouldn't be having this podcast probably today. So, so it's nice when you get to the other side and be like, wow, what we did, the hard work, the consistency, it actually worked. But we're not like done. Like we're not like established and this is what the norm is. Like we're thinking clear, I think, going into this new year more than anything. Like what's fresh, what's new, how can we serve our clients better, how can we as leaders be better? Because in the past, I've always been such a gatekeeper. Like what we do at Vast is our secret sauce. And when people would ask for advice or things like that, I would kind of blow them off because in the beginning stages, I was just selfish. What's in it for me?
Yeah.
Let me pick your brain. I hate that phrase.
I still hate that.
If you're hearing it and you're like, oh my gosh, I've said that to Matt before. Leave my brain alone. My brain's been picked
Not
up
for picking.
enough. I will throw
Well, actually, probably an invoice will come your way.
Yeah, like
I'll charge you for picking.
I mean, like you can pick, but like my brain's gonna be sore afterwards. So, and my brain, so anyway, just thinking through that, and that goes into something else. Like people that are always asking for advice. When you ask for advice, here's a recommendation: always bring some value to the person that you're asking for. Yeah. Meaning, hey, I'd like to do this, this, or this for you. Would that be a blessing to you? And then drop your like, hey, by the way, ask them a question. Yeah. Rather than leading with a withdraw
this is what I
constantly.
Need. Yeah,
I need this. I need this. You're where I want to be. I need this. I need this.
Right.
It causes the leader to really have to like.
And I think a lot of people too, they're looking for like they just see what we've built and they're looking for the microwave.
Right.
Give
me the white label blueprint
and
the playbook.
They don't really know the crock-pot journey.
The crock-pot. Crock-pot stuff tastes better too, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
It's
been soaking but yeah, you can't copy and paste that. That's the hard part you've got to have your own journey with it. And it's just because it took us 7 years, what we've learned in 7 years, it doesn't matter how much you've paid me to teach you or pay Matt to teach you or how much wisdom we shared. What we've learned in 7 years, you're not going to learn in a week. You're not going to learn in a month. You're not going to learn it in a year. You got to be in it for the journey.
You're actually going to learn it as you're walking it out. Like you're gonna take 5 steps forward and then feel like you took 2 steps back, and in those 2 steps back, getting the wisdom and accountability to get back up so you don't take all the steps back to square one. That's self-sabotage, right? Like that's like, and then you're like guilty, you're like depressed, you're, oh man, I didn't hit these goals. It's all in your mindset. Like if you're breathing and living and you have purpose, one, if you don't have purpose, like I believe Jesus will give anybody purpose, but a lot of people have purpose from different things, like different things that motivate them. Helping other people, making the world actually a better place should be something that's a passion of yours, whether that's their writing, photography, talk show host, whatever it is. So I'm excited about that.
So, I feel like Miami just lit a fire and we're just, the
sizzling.
Past 5 to 10 minutes
There's
is all of that.
Still coming off.
So Miami was great. We came back to Michigan, flew home. Well, flew to Michigan, got our kids, spent time with your family. Yep. Then went to Illinois.
Went to Illinois, my grandma's funeral. My grandma passed away, the last grandma that I had living. So my grandma Marlene, but it was sweet to see. My mom came from a big family, 10 brothers and sisters, raised Catholic. So like everyone, it's real family tradition. But I say all that to say, I haven't seen them. A lot of those cousins, like lots of cousins and people, it was like a family reunion. Yeah. So it was actually a lot of fun because we brought our kids, right? And it was like, fun. Not only had they not seen me, they hadn't seen our family. Yeah. So it's always fun to catch up and see what people are doing. Yeah. And then we got in the car and drove home from Illinois all the way back to Tulsa.
And then we had Thanksgiving. Your whole family came.
About a week or two transpired, and then we had a full house at our house. Everyone that we just saw in Michigan, my brother's family, all his kids, and then my parents, all stayed at our house for Thanksgiving. Yeah. So fun.
And then post Thanksgiving, Mama went away.
Yeah. Then you went away. I forget about that because I just made it
because you didn't go. I didn't forget about it.
Our viewers have no idea what you're talking about. What do you mean you went away? She went to an insane asylum. No, I'm just kidding. Checked herself.
My best girlfriend, 20 years, and I went to New York City, and we just spent 3-4 days in the city together
around Christmas.
At Christmas time. If you've never been to New York City at Christmas time, bucket list. Like it's just got to go on your list.
I've never been. Period. So
we're gonna.
She
go
left me
at
home. So
I did, but I had never been away like that since having kids.
I know. It's beautiful.
Before you married me, what type of person was I?
Yeah.
Like independent.
Yeah, very independent. I
just go by myself. I get on a plane.
Kids, it was like things changed. So it was nice to jump back into that.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to my parents for watching our kids so we could go to Miami and all the things. Yeah. But yeah, it takes a tribe to
It
like
does take
raise
a
your
tribe.
family.
I appreciate you and all you did for the kids
Yeah.
and the house, being project manager while I was gone.
Everything was clean when she came home.
Everything was great.
The hair might not have been brushed perfectly going to school every day.
In New York
but,
City,
you know.
what happened? Who did I meet?
Here we go. Jenna just sees the world. So Jenna is like, I'm not going to go to New York City and just go to New York City. One, she flies in. It's the night that the Rockefeller tree lighting is happening.
That's right. It happened on that day.
She also had plans and tickets to go to the Drew Barrymore show.
went to
I'm just
Drew.
giving a list
Yeah.
and then you can expound on these things. And then she also,
The only reason why we went to New
the
York City
Today Show
was to go to the
this
Today
is
Show.
Hoda's like last season. People are like,
She's
who's Hoda?
retiring. Not
You don't know
like,
who Hoda, Savannah
just-
Guthrie, Jenna
she's
Bush.
done.
Those are the people. So when we got married, I started watching morning talk shows. And
Because
while I was
Jenna
drinking my
did.
coffee, because when we got married, that's what Jenna watched. And my parents always grew up with like Good Morning America.
Yes,
So we never really
your
watched
family is a Good Morning
the
America.
Today Show.
I'm a Today Show.
And
yes.
I will say, I always enjoyed like Hoda. She
Yes.
reminded me of some of the like best people I've ever met in life.
Yeah.
She's very genuine. Well, Jenna went to the plaza with
Yeah.
Jordan
Yeah.
and they got to meet her.
we
You
got
pulled
invited
into the
in, which is so
studio.
crazy. We had a
Jenna manifests
It's so
these
funny
things.
because that's literally the only reason. Like when Hoda announced her retirement, my best friend and I text each other and we were like, "What are we gonna do?" And here's why. Yes, I love Hoda. Yes, I love the Today Show. I've been watching that my whole life. I've been watching the Today Show, even with Katie Couric, Matt
Yeah.
Lauer, all since the '90s.
Yeah.
And really, that goes back to I grew up single mom household and I'm an only child. And so when I came home from school in the mornings, like I loved talk show television.
Yeah.
I loved the news. Remember the book that I loved when we first got married? What was the number one guy that I loved and then he died? Larry King Live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
I was
love
going to say, you grew up watching like Larry King Live, Letterman,
Yes.
like Jay Leno.
So in the 90s, Rosie O'Donnell show, Regis and Kathy Lee.
Regis. Who
the
wants to be a
Today
millionaire?
Show.
Spun off from
Yeah.
Regis and Kathy Lee.
So
to, like,
I've just always loved that. Honestly, in a past life, I probably was a journalist.
Jenna and I enjoy
we just
the
love
broadcast
that. So
life,
when we had our babies over the past 5 years, even just going through maternity leave, like my brain equivalates those seasons of being up all night, being in the early mornings, nursing,
Yeah.
being in your chair, holding a baby, and Hoda comes on the TV.
Yeah, right.
And so that right there, and then also just maternity leave, you're just literally sitting and sobbing and watching Jenna and Hoda and their segment and the third
Yeah.
hour today and all the things. So when she announced it, Jordan and I were like, we have to go find her. So that's literally why we went to New York City, to
found
go
her.
find her. We went to the plaza. It was incredible. And we had a sign. It wasn't really a sign that we went the night before to Target in Times Square. They don't sell poster boards on Times Square,
was like a
FYI.
bag,
we
wasn't
bought a gift bag. We ripped off the handles and we wrote, best friends of 20 years here to just see Hoda. That's literally it. And we love Craig. We love, Chanel. I love Jenna, of
Mr.
course.
Roker.
I mean,
What
Al
about
Roker.
Al?
Like,
Here's
we
what's
love
coming-
all of them.
Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
But
Like,
we love all of them. But like Hoda, she leaving. So we wrote down the sign and we got to meet everyone. Shout out to Kevin, my
the
Today Show
producer, now you're,
producer
like, bestie.
friend.
Kevin, bring us out.
We're,
I'd love
we're
to
now
come out.
friends.
Yeah.
And she saw her sign and I think she turned to Kevin and just said, "Hey, invite those girls in."
Yeah.
And so we came in, we got to meet her. I think I looked like Tigger on a pogo stick.
Dong, dong,
I was
dong. We'll
literally
we'll have the video.
jumping up and
Should be
down.
playing, but-
It was
you
so
were
wild.
ecstatic,
And so we got to meet her. And then you know what's crazy is we met her at 9 a.m. that morning after being there early and finally getting in and meeting her. And then we had Drew Barrymore show tickets for 11 a.m. So we had to walk away from the Today Show, process everything that had happened, and then walk ourselves over to CBS.
Such a rough life, just being on
And
show after
just show after
the
show,
shows.
But the Drew Barrymore show was a lot of fun. And it's funny because I have no photos to show for it. It's very locked down. Like you literally go in and you have to sign waivers that you're not going to get your phone out or not going to film anything at CBS. Like they're recording other shows that you would know that are aired on CBS. Right. And so they brought us in and there's probably like maybe 70 women in a room, and
they were all moms.
They were all moms. It was a moms only segment. But we were with Drew from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That's a long day.
It was such a long day. We were at
you might
CBS.
as well get like a credit at the end of a movie. Like,
they gave us lunch.
There,
it was like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So, but Drew is very, I mean, I love Drew. I love how intimate she is with her show. I love that she's very free flowing. She has her dogs on the set.
Yeah.
Anyone that's coming on, you just better know that you're going to get like your hand held.
She was literally in my childhood.
Yeah.
In my TV, all the way from E.T.
E.T., yeah.
Most people are like, she's in E.T. She's a little girl in E.T.
That's where she started,
like, come on. Like, she's incredible. And
she was on lots of talk shows growing up as a kid.
I've got favorites.
Like,
her and Adam Sandler movies are some of my favorites.
I know those are your favorites, but I wish I could have told her this if they would have given me the mic.
Kissed.
If they would have been giving me the mic and like asked me to do a studio or audience question, I would have just said, before I do my question, I need to tell you that Never Been Kissed is Oscar-worthy winning movie.
Oscar.
It is the best movie I've ever seen in my life.
Comedies don't win Oscars.
It doesn't matter. Never Been Kissed should have won.
Comedies don't win Oscars. They should.
But it is my favorite movie. It is like your feel good anytime that you just want to turn a movie on and feel better about yourself. Never Been Kissed. So I think I watch it weekly.
Josie Grossi.
Yeah, I love it. And it was just amazing to be in the same room as Drew Barrymore and see her. She looks amazing too. She's almost 50. I can't even believe that. She looks incredible.
Yeah.
So anyways, we had a great time, and then we just ran around the city and had chaos and fun and blew up your...
You guys were singing at... Like, I mean, it was
just
like how I
dipping
met
and
your
diving
mother.
out of
like,
bars.
You guys are like staying up there. You're like, we're at the bar downstairs.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're in New York. You're at the bar downstairs. You're looking out the window. You can see the
It was
Rockefeller
snowing at
tree.
one point.
It's snowing.
It was beautiful.
That's a movie. That's literally the movies we watch. So.
We went to the Rockettes too,
Nice.
which is also, if you're going to go to New York City at Christmas time, you need to go to the Rockettes.
Check out the Rockettes.
Just it's on your list. So anyways, that was it. And then we came home, and now it's almost, time to dive into this chaos of a new year. And here we go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I got to get my trip on the books.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
Well,
maybe,
okay.
Maybe New York for New Year's Eve. You're like, what?
Am I going?
No.
Kevin?
I've always wanted to go to Times Square and freeze my butt off with like Planet Fitness glasses on and be like, woo! Like, why not? You get to do that one time. You definitely can't bring your kids there.
We will be back to the Today Show for sure.
Okay, well.
They said that they remembered me, and they definitely remembered my name because Jenna.
Okay.
Yeah, we're better together. Jenna
right.
and Jenna.
And you met Jenna Bush.
Met Jenna Bush. She's amazing. Yeah.
You kind of look like Jenna Bush.
It was a great... Wait, you think so?
That's what I've always... Like, people have always said that in certain lights. Yeah. The way you guys,
That's a good compliment.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. Well, that's just catching up. We've been lots of traveling, and then also just soaking up every time or every minute with our kids.
Yeah, totally.
Running the business, coaching, consulting. We're going to unpack that more as we get into more episodes, but wanted to bring everyone up to speed.
Yep.
And Happy New Year. We're excited to dive in, and we'll jump into all of the rest of our content.
All right.
Let's go.
See you in the next episode.